Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
80-degree air temperature. We're on our way to slightly cooler temperatures today, even though we have a lot of sunshine now. It's kind of intermittent sunshine. Comes, goes, depending on the amount of cloud cover that we have, of course, and that will directly affect the amount of heating that we get. Dew point values are a little lower at 71 degrees now. We have an east wind coming in at about 15. I think that's one of the big stories, is how strong the winds are going to be this week. It's not going to be a particularly great boating week. And I know that's going to be a problem for a lot of folks out there who are itching to get out on the water, and it'll be okay, but there'll probably be a small craft advisory, or at least a small craft exercise caution statement issued for tonight, and then through the next couple of days, at least cautionary, I mean, if not small craft advisory. So keep an eye on it, boaters, and keep updated on that wind forecast, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see some 20-knot winds out there a little bit later on today. 80 degrees, Myakka, Wauchula, Arcadia at 81, Parrish 79, so is Bradenton, 82, Venice 81 in Inglewood, and 80 at Longboat Key. The frontal boundary itself kind of stretched across just to our north, really. I mean, if you think of a frontal boundary, and I really don't like the word boundary because it kind of implies like a fence or a line in the sand kind of thing. That's not what a front is. A front is kind of a zone of transition that can spread many miles. And that zone is located just to our north right now. It's kind of parked right there. And I think what we're going to see is the intensity of that kind of diminish a little bit with time. As it basically is stuck, it'll just wash away, and then high pressure builds in and we get a strong easterly wind flow. That easterly wind flow will continue to lower our dew points. Not a lot of action here currently on radar, but you know, it's certainly possible that we'll get a couple of showers building a little bit later in the afternoon. I fully anticipate that. One or two around for sure. 30% chance of that. The front itself was kind of clearly more defined earlier this morning with a very sharp wind shift and dew point change. Right now it's mostly defined as a dew point shift. The wind shift has become somewhat a little bit more nebulous and ill-defined. High pressure back to the west and central part of America, providing pretty much quiet conditions across a large chunk of real estate across the United States today. The frontal boundary itself, as I mentioned, kind of stalling out, and as it does so, it'll eventually just fall apart. And as it falls apart, we'll start to see that lower humidity start to work its way in. So more clouds for several days, a few scattered showers around for several days, mostly in the afternoon and early evenings, and lower humidity on the way as soon as that front washes out. Wind speeds, as I mentioned, are going to be up for several more days, and that's primarily, I suppose, of interest to folks who are interested in boating, but also, you know, outside burning and such like that, you got to be really careful those barbecue grills and such, because there's going to be some gusty winds around. Humid air over us right now, kind of focusing in on where that stalled frontal boundary is, gets replaced as we go through time and into particularly about Thursday, and that drier air starts to work its way in. That's going to shut down the rain chances, bring us a lot of sunshine and some pretty nice weather for a couple of days. We'll just be watching those winds because they are going to stay elevated probably pretty close into the weekend. Northeast wind at about 15 to 20, increasing to 20, moderate chop on bay and inland waters. Forecast for the week ahead calls for decreasing rain chances as we head into Thursday. Drier air works in. Friday and Saturday look great. And then that east wind brings back the moisture for Sunday and Monday.